In South Florida, Twist Gaming, featuring lead broadcaster Matt Koza, co-host and creative genius Josh Perry, co-host and interviewer extraordinaire Ann Lazito, co-host and marketing mogul Aaron Murphy, with appearances from special guest Lucy. Welcome to Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live here from our studio in, it's like marginally sunny. It's like twilight, South Florida.
It's dusk.
Dusk, South Florida. We're bringing you another episode of Twitch Plays Middara. You have to do the... One more time.
I don't think there's... What are you... Oh, no. Oh, no.
But first up, who are we? I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
And we are Twist Gaming. Twitch Plays Middara. Josh, what is this?
It's an interactive campaign where you guys at home get to play along with us.
How?
By rolling dice.
What kind of dice?
Colored dice.
Like that?
With symbols and stuff.
And you get to roll and
stuff.
And we're chat. Hey. So you get to roll, you get to make some decisions on what you want to do. So we're all playing as different characters in the game. You fine folks at home are playing as Nightingale. You pew-pew things because that's what you do. You roll dice by doing exclamation mark roll or clicking the button as it shows up. And then once Josh fixes it, it will show the rolls. But he's broken it because we need a rule 3. And
Gear grid link.
Oh, gear grid thing? There we go. Gear grid. Don't worry, they can see it in. So that link there is for the gear grids, and so you can see what gear you've got on your character right now. And then look at that. Niobari rolled all them dice. He rolled a 6, a 6, and a 7 because we couldn't have the number of the beast, thankfully. So I'll clear that out. I hit reset dice, didn't seem to do anything. Clear dice. There we go. So I still have to roll the old-fashioned way because my phone died today.
Okay.
So what happened on the last episode of Twitch Plays Middara there, Joshy Bear?
We went to the cave more. We beat up a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Who beat up a bunch of stuff?
Mostly Matt. Mostly Matt.
I remember very vividly, it was getting later in the evening. 2 animates were blocking our path at the end. And then Anne goes, oh no, 2 animates. This is going to take forever. Maybe we should stop here. And I'm just like, I got this. And so I ran up, and I went pew-pew on one, and I killed it. And I went pew-pew on the other, and I killed it. And
it was a singular pew on each one.
Yeah, it was a singular pew. It wasn't a pew.
I was thoroughly impressed.
And then Josh is just like, I'm just going to run to the exit!
Yeah.
And then we won.
Yeah. I just like that. Actually, you matched my speed, but I don't get hindered by terrain, so, like, Rook just runs.
He Naruto runs everywhere.
Like a brick wall, though.
You never do the Naruto thing again. I don't know why that's so entertaining.
Do you think they're pretending to play airplane?
Maybe.
But they've got really
But the wings don't go back that far with airplanes.
But some airplanes.
It's like when you've got like the stealth, like the jet planes where the wings fold back. It's just like they go into that mode and you're like... It's like an X-wing, but instead of going vertical, it's horizontal. It changes.
Okay. That was a stretch.
Y-M-C-A. All right. So we've got some murmurs behind the door, Joshua.
Yep. And you have your...
Do you have your script?
Your script?
No. Oh.
Josh did a really great job. He highlighted everything for me. It was really nice.
The first thing Nightingale noticed was the gore. For a moment, she was brought back to the informant's house in Ramstead, and very nearly vomited all over again. The scene before them wasn't quite as bad, if only because it was a much larger space. Bits of flesh, bone, and clothing were pasted to the walls, floor, and ceiling. The traces of the original mine were barely visible. Minecart tracks leading through the cavern ended in rusted ruin as they neared a crater in the stone. There was no gore within this sunken area, no blood splatters like the ones further out, only chalky gray rock, which crumbled away beneath Nightingale's fingers like dust. At the edge of the crater was a minecart, or half of one anyways. The side closest to the explosion had crumbled to nothing, and choking fingers of corrosion snaked out from the end. There were 3 bloody marks near the edge of the crater, and streaks leading away from the 2. What did I say Damocles' voice was?
You're going to do Russian for
I was
me.
going to do... You didn't use dynamite? Damocles muttered, kicking at the floor at the edge of the crater. What the hell did you do? Justice stopped just beside him, shivering as she took in the carnage.
They attacked me. They shouldn't have even been in Alenia, let alone down here. My guess is they were looking for the same thing we were.
She paced around the edge of the crater, though she seemed to be searching the ground more than the crater itself.
So, these people that attacked you, who were they?
Nightingale asked. It took Justice a moment to answer.
Grim Deacons. I heard them talking. I think their names were Echo, Valentine, and Quentin.
Wait, did you say Grim Decons?
Rook sounded cautious. He was suddenly armed again, eyes scanning the cavern around them.
As in Braham's elite group of spies and assassins?
Yeah, that one.
Justice said unapologetically. She dropped to her knees and began fishing around underneath some rubble. I've heard about Grim Deacons. Damocles scratched at his chin and thought.
What kind of Russian is that? Where did we go?
They're supposed to be elite killers for the aristocracies of Brahma. Hard to kill and incredibly connected. Why would they be here?
They've been after my friend Zephyr for a long time.
Justice nodded towards Nightingale while one hand fished for something.
He's the one who can help you with the Maluma. My Fedosian blast killed all but one when I used it. The one who survived the blast? He was the one with the blighted guardian. I don't think he was a Grim Deacon, though. He looked like a local, like someone from this city.
She pointed suddenly at the other end of the room, where one patch of stone seemed more like a pile of rubble than a rock wall.
After I killed the Grim Deacons, he ran through there.
Justice finally found what she was looking for, working her fingers around a rock wedged against the wall.
This is what we were all looking for.
Justice grinned, and the rock came loose. She lifted something from the ground, a fist-sized, irregular white stone. She jerked suddenly upwards as Damocles snatched the item she retrieved from her hand and held it over his head, out of her reach.
Rude.
What is this that you and those Brahmian spies wanted so badly? He asked, staring at what appeared to be a normal stone. Justice turned, glaring up at him, but not jumping for it.
It's a pontifex, or at least a part of one. I'm not entirely sure what it does, but my friends need it.
A sudden chill ran through Nightingale's spine. The voice hissed in her head.
You need it more.
She didn't fight it this time, and instead crept around Damocles. He was too focused on the artifact to notice her.
Get it.
These mines belong to the Hyde family, Damocles was saying. That means that this artifact does as well. Maybe when we... Nightingale leapt up, snatching the stone from his hand and landing a few steps away. Despite the cool cavern around them, it was quite warm to the touch and much heavier than it looked, like white, translucent lead. Damocles turned an annoyed glance on Nightingale. What the hell? The room became deadly quiet. Everyone froze in place, all eyes on her. She straightened, holding the stone close to her chest with one hand. Her tail twitched behind her like an angry kitty cat.
Your family rules Hyde, but Balthazar is king of Alania. Until we're done, I'll hold on to this in my father's name.
Make a reward sound, Josh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Reward! You found what the Grim Deacons were after. Reveal medium hidden card UM22 and gain the first piece of the Pontifex story relic. So I get to show this off below?
Yep.
I could use some Smirnoff right now, couldn't we all? First piece of the Pontifex, this is an exhaust counter. When making this counter, you may use a discipline costing 2 SP or less that casts a spell instead of making an attack. All other counter rules still apply. So this would be great for Twitch because that means they can counter with a pew-pew. Right?
Yep.
Right.
I already have 3 really good
That's
relics
cool.
right now, so.
Oh, really? Okay. Continue reading below. Damocles grunted and looked for a moment like he might draw his sword. Then he lowered his hand and turned away. Fine.
But you don't need that.
Justice pleaded.
My sense of fear does. When we get there, I can give it to him.
Nightingale stashed the stone, clear for them all to see. Once it was in her pack, the strange warmth faded, and it became as cool as any other stone.
Think of it as insurance.
Zeke rested one hand gently on Justice's shoulder, looking around. No offense, but you seen this place? Think of us holding on to the Pontifex's encouragement not to explode anything by accident.
I like not being exploded.
Remi added. We're wasting time. Damocles sounded sour again. Unless you'd like our lord to lord over a minor house some more, princess, we should continue our investigation.
Yeah. Sorry, let's go.
It took a little while to clear the exit, a few minutes spent passing rocks out of the way. Eventually, new ones stopped rolling in to fill their place, and a worn tunnel appeared beyond, barely wide enough for Rook and low enough that several of them would have to stoop. Great! Damocles drew his weapon and took the lead into the dark. Let's find our assassin. The passage ended in a thick stone door. Damocles braced his shoulders against it and shoved with all his might. He grunted and groaned, but the door didn't budge. Rook joined in, but to no avail. Rook sighed, shaking his head.
Feels like it's barred from the other side. I don't think we can force it open from here.
I know one way. Damocles looked at Justice. Why don't you summon up another explosion? It worked on the rock back there. She shook her head, clutching at her book again.
My logic isn't like what other mages do. Every spell has a price, and my tome expects to be repaid. Oh, your book makes you pay if you can't cast a spell using it?
Nightingale smiled, imagining what a book might want in return for a spell. Justice glanced at the tome with a worried look.
Yes, exactly that.
Not to mention, the ceiling might cave in on us.
Rook added.
We don't have any idea how stable this passage is.
Remi signaled to the door, then placed her ear to it.
Someone's talking.
Gage squirmed out of her neck and moved to leap to the
Out of her
ground.
neck?
Pack. Oh,
Wait a
jeez.
second.
Out of her neck, yeah. Gage squirmed out of her pack and moved to leap to the ground. Before he could jump, Remi scooped the him up in her arms.
Scooped
Yeah.
up into her.
Okay. Holding him there and looking down at him. She repeated. He glared up at her, wrapping his long tail around her arm. Damocles joined her by the door. Everyone held their breath. A female voice screamed through the thick door, just loud enough for Remi and Damocles could hear.
This is your fault, Hendrix.
Her muffled voice shouted.
We needed you to infect the Duke, but you couldn't even poison his damn air. Alias cries, buries his wife, and Hyde is still in Balthazar's hands.
A male voice responded, no less energetically. We haven't failed. Just because Elias and Damocles aren't dead yet doesn't mean they won't be.
That was Scottish.
Yeah, I was thinking British originally, but
You said British originally, and that went total Scottish.
that's just how I felt. I felt it going that way. Damocles stumbled backward away from the door. Remi glanced briefly back and saw his whole face had gone white. She mouthed the words.
Who that?
Who dat? But he didn't seem to notice. Justice slipped up from behind him and joined Remi at the door. Their argument hadn't stopped. Elias doesn't have the stomach. All right, that's slipping into the other one.
What is he?
He has no idea.
Russian Scottish.
Russian Scottish. Elias doesn't have the stomach to kill his wife. When Rivka returns, he'll be the first one she alerts. If we're lucky, it will spread to the whole household. Brahma couldn't hope for a better object lesson in the futility of Balthazar's rule. It will find Hyde a city with not just a willing ruler, but a willing populace as well. The woman lowered her voice so that Remi could barely hear, but she could still hear the acid in her tone.
Your lack of precision in the initial attack means we have to depend on luck for success. This is exactly the sort of weakness Brahma would not tolerate in a prospective ruler.
There was a brief pause, then the female voice continued.
We need another method. When the surgical strike fails, we turn to more destructive methods. Didn't you say the Hyde estate gets its water from the market well? We need not wait. We can strike the Hyde family before they recover and be more confident the infection will spread. If we can't pick off Elias individually, we wipe out the town. That will give away for the Brahmian occupation.
Rook pulled Remi back from the door so fast that Gage squeaked and jumped away. She turned to him and was about to ask what he was thinking until she saw that everyone had backed up a ways. Justice had her book open. The pages didn't glow exactly, so much as they looked like they weren't even there. Instead of a book, Remi saw a door, and through it an ocean of cerulean and gold. Justice extended her other hand towards the wall, and it looked like she was screaming, though no sound came out. Suddenly the air rotted. Where the spell touched, stone withered. It was like watching 1,000 years pass before her eyes. Thick steel bands turned to rust, thickening and constricting. Stone cracked and buckled under the force of the metal before the metal turned to dust. Even though she hadn't yet taken a second breath, Remi felt as though she were watching the horrific scene in slow motion. Justice wasn't just ruining the stone. She was somehow killing a piece of the world. The passage in front of Justice widened dramatically, swallowing the doorway and the walls on the other side and leaving nothing recognizable behind. The timeless moment ended. Air exploded from the site of the impact, blasting dust past Remi and scattering equipment in the room beyond. Remi, with her light build and air-catching wings, was thrown backward into Rook, who caught her before she could be swept further down the cavern. Nightingale fared little better, smacking one of the walls so hard she fell over sideways and stayed there, stunned. Justice alone seemed as though she hadn't felt the explosion. For a moment she stood in the center of the maelstrom, ignoring the destruction all around her. Only when the dust had settled did she finally drop to her knees, breathing in gasps. Past the dust and debris, the room looked to Remi like a primitive laboratory. Near the entrance, delicate burners, tubes, and vials had been shattered or crumbled into ruin, though farther away they'd only been thrown off the tables. Tables were packed with notes and books, which had been scattered in the blast. Damocles recovered first, advancing past the fallen Justice and into the huge space. Remi followed, with Zeke not far behind. Never in her life had Remi seen such rage as she saw in Damocles. Damocles cleared the tables and overturned shelves with a few contingent leaps. He rammed into Hendrix just as he was climbing to unsteady feet and took him straight to the ground. Damocles didn't even bother raising his weapon. Instead, he just slammed Hendrix into the ground over and over. Gotta remember to do the accent again. "We trusted you, you filthy bastard! Why would you betray my father?" Remi spotted the woman she had heard earlier. She wore some sort of strange armored skirt and boots, along with an assortment of ripped and tattered clothes. Her hair was swept back from the explosion, and her eyes were wild. She ran straight for the only other door in the chamber. Remi saw her go and moved to stop her. She ignored the brawl and dashed across the room, dust spraying from her wings. The other door looked much like the one they'd just destroyed, stone-banded with steel. It had a large lock, and when the woman pushed the door, it didn't budge.
"Hendrix, you damn fool!"
she raged.
"Why would you make an escape tunnel that needed a key?"
Remi approached cautiously, drawing her weapon. The woman turned, a sword in each hand, and in her eyes Remi saw burning insanity. It was so intense that Remi paused. Perhaps it would be better not to fight this woman alone. Remi could see Damocles and Hendrix fighting behind her, but she didn't dare to steal a glance, lest the mad woman take advantage. "Elias is weak!" I'm mixing the accents, I know. Hendrix shoved Damocles away. The Hyde cancer has infected us for too long. If it weren't for your family, Hyde would be a great city by now, part of a great empire." Damocles kicked Hendrix's leg out from under him, then brought his elbow down onto the man's fallen chest with all his weight. "This is for my mother, you asshole! Even if I can't find the cure, I can at least bring her your head!" Nightingale finally entered the chaos-filled room, nursing bruises and clutching the piece of the Pontifex close to her chest. Justice was close behind, her book still open in one arm and her eyes still a little glazed.
"Stop!"
Nightingale called. She held the Pontifex piece out towards the woman. The woman stopped as she saw Nightingale was holding, her eyes widening. Justice pointed at the woman in horror, struggling to speak.
I killed you. You should be dead. Be careful, Remi. That's one of the Grim Deacons."
Remi was closing on the woman, who suddenly jerked, knocking over a table of beakers and bubbling liquid at Remi's feet before moving towards the fight in the center of the room. Remi jumped backwards in time to avoid the crashing...
Backwards in time?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, she jumped backwards, like, just in time.
I thought
Like,
like she went in
not
time
like Back
traveling.
to the Future.
But the way that he said it was, yes, that she's time leaping. It was supposed to say backwards just in time, but no. Matt's got things crawling out of necks, and she's going through time.
It says right there, Remi jumped backwards in time
It did. It does.
to avoid the crashing table. At the same time, the
Yes.
woman kicked the table over. She scooped up a nasty-looking syringe from the debris. She turned and made straight for the brawl. Remi noticed and tried to run after calling out to her friends.
Zeke, watch out!
Zeke turned in her direction and dodged out of the way just as the woman dashed past him. Damocles and Hendrix were too busy trying to kill each other to notice. Hendrix has pinned Damocles to the ground and was raising a fist.
Hendrix, your failure won't go unpunished.
The woman cried as she slammed the syringe straight down into Hendrix's back.
He's your problem now.
She looked at everyone with a wild grin as she pulled a key from around Hendrix's neck and sprinted towards the door. Remi ran after her, dodging around Hendrix as she went. She took to the air, but the low ceiling kept her from getting too far. By the time she made it to the door, the woman was already fleeing down the passage. The door was opened just wide enough to permit her lithe form to slip through. Remi was ready to follow, but a hideous sound pulled her attention back to her friends. Hendrix was screaming so loudly that his voice gave out as he writhed in agony. Flecks of blood and spittle sprayed from his mouth. Even Damocles retreated in horror, staring. Hendrix's flesh went pale, pustulent blisters spreading across his body. His limbs stretched and grew inhumanely long, and bones snapped and splintered through his skin, becoming sharpened spines that oozed sickly green fluid. The blisters swelled as his torso and neck began to shrivel, as though he were a corpse hung upside down to rot in the sun. The ragged sounds coming from Hendrix were no longer recognizably human. His eyes exploded with searing liquid, steaming as it splattered on the ground. Remi dodged around him, then caught Damocles by the arm and started dragging him away. She pulled him along towards the rest of her friends. The monstrous creature no longer resembled the man it had been. It clawed its way back toward the room, seeping vile fluids as it went. They could hear Hendrix as the last vestiges of its human mind struggled to preserve itself. "I will kill all of you!" He gave a sob that turned to a grating laugh.
What the hell is that?
Remi spun her weapon at the ready.
The grim deacon must have injected him with a pure concentration form of the blight.
Rook was glancing around the laboratory. It looked like the literature was all about the disease. Damocles gritted his teeth. It was clear that they could not let this abomination loose upon Hyde. They had to kill it here and now. "We have to kill this thing! Aid me, princess!" Continued a boss fight, blighted Hendrix.
We're gonna fight the decon.
The decon!
It's like DEFCON, but not.
Well, it's when you decontaminate something. So this is the board setup. This guy's really nasty. So let's go over his stuff. That's Hendrix, by the way. That's his pretty face.
Is that Jimi Hendrix?
It's no. I mean,
Yeah.
no. So he's got some passive abilities. He's got Rotting Hulk, which is Blighted Hendrix has Relentless, Unstoppable, and Immunity, Paralyze, Condemn, and Poison. So Relentless is he can move through opponents unhindered. And Unstoppable is that any time he passes over it, he could actually pass through obstructable terrain.
Yep.
And then he destroys it basically and turns it into arduous terrain.
Yep.
So that stinks. And then also whenever he passes over you, he's going to give you 1 purple die of damage. Irreducible.
Yep.
And inflict poison?
No, he's got immunity, poison, paralyze, and condemn, so he cannot have those effects on him. And then when a figure ends their turn adjacent to him, they get dealt a purple die of magic damage and get inflicted poison with a Force 11. So Force 11 means you need to make a conviction check of 11 or higher in order to pass it. Then he's got Fleshy Appendages, which is each time the Blighted Hendrix is attacked, he will counter with a range 6 attack which with follow-up, pull 12, force 13. So he pulls you towards him. So let's go through his attacks really quickly. Move through. So if there is an opponent adjacent, he moves through the opponent towards the edge of the board. So he will deal a purple die of damage to you. Moving diagonally if necessary. Then make a separate attack, melee attack, against each adjacent opponent or cage. These attacks may not be dodged. Then cast a spell 6 against the furthest opponent within the sphere of influence. That will inflict paralyze and move the target 4 spaces towards Blighted Hendrix. Then it will see if there's any opponents within the sphere of influence, where it will cast a spell 6 against up to 2 different opponents within the sphere of influence, which will then paralyze and pull them 4 spaces closer. And then finally, he will see if there's an adjacent opponent, and then he will move through them towards the board edge, moving diagonally if necessary, dealing 1 purple die of damage. He's got 150 health, 13 defense, 6 movement, 0 armor. His combat dice are a green and a gray, and his conviction is 2 green and his casting is a green.
This guy sucks.
Yeah. So you might notice that it said that there's cages that you have to deal with. So there's random cages that are on the showdown board. Josh, are you worrying about that?
No, you can take
Okay.
that.
So if he attacks them, how does this work here?
So if he breaks the cages, I think it says it on there.
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading it now. So when setting up this encounter, reveal small and large hidden cards UM23 to access Hendrix's initiative and intelligence combatant cards. These cards will be used during the encounter.
That's what you just shut off.
Oh, okay.
I put them out earlier.
Cool. So then, during this encounter, use Damocles' initiative and command combatant abilities. That's pretty standard, right? After dealing initiative cards, move Damocles to the back of the initiative track.
Standard.
Guess what, Ann? Low ceiling. This area is too low to fly.
Yeah, of course it is.
Cages. The objective tokens represent cages. These spaces that the space that these cages are occupying are considered obstructing terrain until they are destroyed. Hendrix may attack cages, and any cages he attacks are immediately destroyed. After Hendrix finishes moving and dealing damage with Unstoppable and Relentless, he will destroy any objective tokens he moved through. When a cage is destroyed, read the corresponding hidden text for the objective token that was destroyed. So he's going to destroy cages, and then some shit's going to happen based off of what he destroys. Get it? Got it? Good.
Ooh, I have... You said he inflicts poison?
Yes, he does.
And does have
I've got
immunity to
my,
poison.
Ooh,
sickle charm.
that's cool.
Yeah, I can't get poison.
So
Yeah, that's convenient.
So you're gonna frontline it, right?
No.
And
But
give me a number
casting.
1 through 6.
3.
Okay. All right. So let's see the initiative track.
And you also have all your summons available.
I was downloading my stuff so that I can see how that works. Because I also have my the book. So I mean it's a flip, but this might be the time to use that
So Josh,
for the exalted summon.
guess who's first?
Guess who's first? Rook.
It's Zeke. Guess who's second?
Rook.
It's Blighted Hendrix. Guess who's next?
Rook.
It's Remi. Guess who's next?
Rook.
It's Rook! Guess who's next?
Nightingale.
It's Damocles, which really means it's Nightingale, because then Damocles goes to the end of the track. So,
May want to make it like churros.
Don't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad.
You do it that way.
Okay. So, he's not next to any obstructable terrain, is he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
Oh, he
those
is.
barrels
'Cause he's
are, and the bookcases over there are.
nice.
It's
As
a
long
little
as they
hard
last.
to get over there, though.
Oh, is it? So do you think we should wait and let him draw towards us? I mean, I'm the only one that goes before him. So really, it's a matter of, do I want him to run through me and be an a-hole?
Yeah, you might just want to prep this round.
So Hastened Core, if I use that, that's going to give me an extra SP at the beginning of every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to flip Hastened Core.
You're going to get haste.
Where is that?
It's a status effect.
Okay. So gain +1 SP. Cool.
Can you throw that up in the thing?
Yeah. Gain +1 SP. So at the beginning of my turn, I'll gain +1 SP. And then I'm just going to run to the side, I guess? So his attack is going to be full move through an adjacent opponent. There is no adjacent. There's no one through the sphere of influence. Is there an adjacent opponent? So basically, if we're outside of his sphere of influence, he's not going to do anything.
He's going to break the stuff around him, isn't he?
So, no, because it asks, is there an adjacent opponent? Then is there an opponent within sphere of influence? Then is there an adjacent opponent?
Okay. So, yeah, as long as you have it as...
So we just need to stay away from him.
Well...
He doesn't move at all?
Maybe I'm reading this wrong, but...
No, because I was looking for the card so I could read it, and I'm reading something. I'm reading a conversation, and it's specifically talking about his movement and adjacency. He only does a spell when no one is adjacent to him. Did I understand the AI steps wrong, or does he really only ever do his spell when no one is adjacent to him?
It sounds like he... So hear me out here.
Yeah.
Twitch has a sphere of influence of 6. Can they literally just pew-pew him to death and he'll never move?
No, because No. Because each time that he is attacked, he counters with a range 6.
The spell is not an attack.
Yeah. We had a
Spells cannot be
conversation
countered.
about this. The magic attacks, they specifically say magic. Okay, so here's the thread that I'm reading, and it was hidden for spoilers, but we're literally having this conversation. Because the fight sounded really amazing and hard on paper, but my group cheesed the heck out of it. Because we have only a single dedicated melee fighter in our group, blah, 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 no one ever got adjacent to him. We also didn't miss, so he got no counters off. So the only thing he did was sitting there and trying to do his cast full paralyze spell, which he also botched, or the targets rolled amazing. So in short, for the whole fight, he just stood there dumbfounded and got pummeled to death without really doing anything because no one ever got adjacent to him. Now, to get to my question, did I understand his AI steps wrong, or does he really only ever do his spell when no one is adjacent to him? And then Brooklyn replied back, however, similar reason with 6 we made to cloth armor, your experience, the average roll on these attacks is 14, which should beat a target even including an average dodge at that point in the game.
Yeah, it sounds like he just doesn't move.
Yep, that's what it sounded like.
So...
And this was April 18th, this was last year, so maybe there's an update, but this is probably the rule set that we're playing with.
Yeah, so basically he doesn't move unless there's someone adjacent to him, and his ranged attack is only for his sphere of influence, which is base 4, right?
Yep.
So that's the only way that he would potentially pull people closer to him. So yeah, theoretically Twitch could just stand there and pew-pew the shit out of him.
Matt, could you put it up on the camera so I can take a screenshot of it, just so I can have it?
Sure.
So I'm looking at the 1.1 upgrade to see what changes they made. Okay, they changed it. So it's... You want to play with the new rules so it's not so cheesy?
I would like to not cheese it.
Okay. So basically, go put your card back. That card
Got
back
it,
up.
thank you.
I want to see the differences.
Yep.
Rotten Hulk, he has elusive, relentless, and unstoppable.
I don't know what elusive is.
That's the other book's right there.
Hold on. So, elusive. That's not in here, so I'm assuming it's a status effect.
It's a new status effect, maybe.
I don't see it in here either. Okay, so we're not going to play with elusive because it doesn't exist.
Okay, it doesn't exist currently. When a figure ends their turn adjacent to the Blighted Hendrix, deal a purple damage of magic damage and inflict poison and disease, force 11. But they changed poison and disease, so we'll leave it as it currently is.
Okay.
Fleshy appendage is the same thing. Is their opponent adjacent? Move in a straight line through an adjacent opponent and to the edge of the board. Move in, then do attack against everything there. Then do a spell 6. That's all the same. Is there an opponent within Spear of Influence? Cast Spear gets the 2 furthest opponents.
Yeah.
Within the Spear of Influence. Do a purple magic damage at pulse 6.
So it's changing from pull 4 to pull 6.
Yeah, and no paralyze.
Okay.
Otherwise, move to be adjacent to the nearest opponent.
Okay. So that
Elusive's got to be somewhere.
I think it might be a new status
Because
for the new 1.1 edition or something.
Yeah, but I'm in the 1.1 update logbook,
Yeah.
and it's making references to elusive without defining it. Updated elusive. Elusive will not...
I don't have it here.
Check the rulebook, Joshua.
I don't...
I'm looking at the rulebook right now, and it doesn't say elusive anywhere. I mean, I could check.
But I'm fine with just changing the bottom part. Is instead of if there's an opponent adjacent, just it's otherwise moves to be adjacent to the nearest opponent.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only change.
All right. And you cool with that?
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just... I just want to...
They also updated his health
If I
to
can
300.
find it,
Yeah.
I just want to see it.
They updated his health to 300?
Yeah.
Are we playing with 300
We'll
health?
play with the card. We'll just change the last bit so he actually moves.
Okay. If we kill him really easily, do we want to see if we could take him out with 300 health? Okay, so he's going to move. What's his movement? His movement's 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1, 2... So what does it say? It just moves...
Yeah, it just moves. So he doesn't run through things, I think, right? What does Relentless and Unstoppable just like say he runs through everything, or just if he doesn't?
Relentless is unstoppable as he can run through everything.
He can?
Yeah.
So would he run through stuff, or would he just...
He would take the shortest path possible because the terrain isn't a problem for him.
Okay, so he would run straight forward. So he would break the blue cage.
Yeah. So I ended my turn then.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't want to move at all?
Probably do. Where am I? I'm this
I
orange
would move
space, right? I'm gonna move like out here.
No, I would move one more space, like 2 spaces away from Rook.
Here?
Yeah, right there.
Why here?
Because he's going to move 6 spaces closer. He's going to be on top of that barrel. Right?
This is 6 spaces.
Oh, that's
but
6
he's gonna
spaces.
move towards the closest guy, so he's gonna end his attack. He's gonna end his movement here.
Yeah. So you can move. You can move a step closer then. Because he's not attacking. He's just moving closer.
Yeah.
That way you're adjacent to him. Then you get hit and then run
Yeah.
out.
I agree.
All right. So he's going to...
So wait, I spent an SP for that.
Yep.
Okay.
And then he's going to the blue cage. He's going to break.
Okay, so he moves. Can you move him, please?
I'm not sure if the blue cage is going to stop him when he does it, so I'm not going to...
Oh, no, he full moves towards it. The cage clangs open, releasing a Merc Hound. Spawn a Merc Hound on the space this token occupied, and then discard this token. What's a Merc Hound?
It's a puppy.
They're nasty.
He's nasty.
Nasty.
We need a black die to be rolled, Matt.
Sure, so chat, please roll a black die. You can do that with exclamation mark roll, or clicking on the little button.
Mercount's going to be really confused, though.
Why?
They like water.
Okay. So Merchound is not affected by water or muck terrain. It gains 2+ movement if starting in water or muck.
They're going to go after Remi with that roll.
Okay.
Want to show it off on the camera?
Yeah. It's ugly. Sticky. When opponents adjacent to the Merchound make a move action, they must make a Strength 10 check. Merc Bound. When the Merchound attacks, it gains +2 physical damage for each Merchound within Sphere of Influence. Submerged while in the water or muck, Merchounds can only be targeted by adjacent opponents. Can it move and attack multiple opponents? If move to be adjacent to as many opponents as possible, then make a separate attack for each one. Then can it move and attack an opponent adjacent to another Merchound? Move to be adjacent to an opponent other than adjacent to another Merchound. And then can it move and attack an opponent? So it's got +4 armor piercing. That's nasty. And 2 red combat dice, 12 health, 13 defense, 6 movement, 1 armor. So they not nice.
The initiative card's right there.
All right. And you say they go after Remi?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is going to go here. And he's going to stop right there.
And he doesn't attack, right?
Nope, it just says he moves.
Okay. So then next up would be Remi.
Oh, Matt, can I get a piece of hindrance terrain?
I don't...
The bottom box there.
Here you go.
No, the...
There you go. So where's Remi at? Remi's the purple base?
Blue base.
Blue base. Oh, that's
Yeah.
you, Ann. Okay. So
Yeah.
what you gonna do besides act a fool?
I heard mer count and instantly thought mermaid count, like on Sesame Street. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. I can hit through you. So what's my movement? Is 6?
can.
And it's center to center. 2 spaces. I want to go right behind you.
So you go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Go right behind Zeke.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then try and hit.
You gonna give him the old college try?
I'm gonna give him the old college try. Oh, Joshua, I forgot to open the dice roller.
What a surprise!
Yeah, well.
What?
Can you have Twitch roll my hit for me? It's a teal and two teals and a black.
This time I can, but you better get it ready for yourself next time, man.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
This time everyone gets to screw up Anne's roll for her.
I don't get to take responsibility for my own actions this time.
What a surprise, Anne. A 5, and...
That's lame. It's not great.
2 shields.
It's a 10.
What's his thing?
13 defense.
Oh yeah, I'm re-rolling that.
What are you re-rolling?
Uh,
Both 5s?
all of it.
You're going to re-roll the black die
probably
too?
not the black die. I should keep the black die, right?
Are you re-rolling or is Twitch re-rolling?
No, I can re-roll. I loaded it this time.
Any day now.
So I need... Well, I was trying to figure out. I want those shields, so... Oh, I didn't mean to re-roll the black. It doesn't even matter.
You rolled
Doesn't
an
even
8.
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't even matter.
Nice roll, Anne.
I didn't hit. Thanks.
And that's all your SP, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then it is the Merchound's turn. So Merchound, can it move and attack multiple opponents?
What's its movement?
Its movement is 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, just attack you.
Yay. All right. Have it beat me up. So it attacks with 2 reds. So I am going to dodge.
Okay.
So it uses 2 reds. I get to roll a black die. And then each shield gives me +1 defense. Is that how it works?
Yep. And you could re-roll your...
Ooh, I rolled a skull.
You could re-roll that.
I
with
can re-roll.
your base ability on your character.
Oh, yes, I can. 1 shield.
Yes, I can.
No, the Markhound does not count Hendrix as an enemy. For whatever reason.
Because they're buddies. There's just like an evil understanding. Like, I'm evil, you're evil. We're homies. 9. That's terrible.
Doesn't hit. You can counter.
It's 2 SP to counter?
It is 2 SP to counter.
Yeah, screw it. I'll counter. I'm going to spend 2 SP. A counter. Because I don't have anything fun to give me counters, right? No.
I have no idea if you have anything that gives you counters.
No, I don't. I don't think so. Okay, so I need a green die, Josh. Green and a red. Okay, so green and a red. I rolled 8, 13. What's its defense? Its defense is 13.
It's enough to hit.
It is enough to hit, isn't it? Wait. Is it next to...
It does. You are flanking it because there is a cage there, which are obstructable terrains. So you get +3 to your roll.
So really, I rolled a
Really
16.
Which you beat it by means you beat it by 2.
By more than 2, so it deals +2 physical damage.
So you beat it by how? You beat it by 3.
I beat it by 3.
So you got 5 damage so far. You get an additional 5 damage for flanking.
So that's
or
10.
for backstab.
Did you give me the +2 from beating it by 2?
Yeah, I gave you the +2 by beating it by 2.
Okay.
Now your symbols.
Yes, my symbols. So I rolled 2 shields and 2 books. So that would be 2 shields is 2 damage.
All right, you're at 12 damage.
Also, I forgot this. I was dodging the attack to him. Mm-hmm. My dagger has an ability for each book that I rolled against a a melee attack dodge. Gives me +1 damage to it. So I actually dealt 3 damage to him already.
Okay, does he have armor, though?
He has 1 armor.
Okay, so you did 2 damage to it
I did 2 damage to it already. So he's got 10 health left.
He's dead.
Yeah, okay, he's dead.
Guess what?
We get loot?
We get loot.
Loot in the boot. I mean, I felt like that was a waste of 2 SP, but whatever.
We got 10 gold.
You guys, these things are really easy to kill.
Because you flank and
So lame.
backstab everything.
Yeah, I know, I love it.
It's like in your face. You're like, I backstab you.
Ow!
You can't see it.
You can't see me. There's a rock next to you.
But you're in front of me. I backstab you.
That's a cage next to me, and it's behind me. I don't care. You didn't see my knife. Oh my god, my brain can't remember how to calculate sphere of influence in this game. It's 4 spaces.
4 spaces.
Diagonals count.
Spaces, yes.
Rook, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. I don't know what to do here. All right, first up. So what is he going to do at the beginning of his turn?
He is going to run through everyone and then make an attack against each adjacent opponent.
Yeah, I'm not excited about this.
Matt uses obstructing terrain as an ally because
Also,
of his dead end ability.
right, and then I've got the Rune Switchblade, which is you are considered to be flanking regardless of your position so long as there is another ally adjacent to an opponent you are attacking. And rocks are my allies.
Yep. You have made friends with the rocks.
I am one with the
Rocks
rocks.
are your friends.
It's a pet rock, actually. All rocks are pet rocks for Zeke.
So right now you're going to be able to back away.
Yeah, that's correct.
I can cast Barrier on someone and Courage on someone. I'll cast Courage on you.
Okay. What does courage do again?
All symbols give you +1 to damage.
Hey, that's nice.
If you miss, though, you lose it.
I don't miss.
Don't miss.
I do miss, but, you know.
Oh, Hedrick did move into your Aura of Hate, so he does take 3 damage.
Hey now.
Who has Aura of Hate?
Twitch.
Oh.
Nightingale. Yeah.
Yeah, so Hendrick has 3 damage to him.
Okay. Do you have, like, a countdown calculator you could use instead of me having to do tokens up to 150?
I could open up, like,
Just open up a calculator.
calculator.
Make my life easier, please. You don't have that as an overlay option?
Not at the moment.
Lazy bastard.
147.
Yeah. Okay. Rook, what are you doing? Home slice?
I'm going to cast Barrier on myself.
So FYI, he's probably going to attack Damocles
Why?
because he runs towards the closest board edge.
Damocles is technically not adjacent to him.
He's diagonal, isn't he?
The barrels are in the way. It's a fully impassable terrain.
But he doesn't treat impassable terrain.
He can walk through impassable terrain, but it would still block.
Line of sight.
It'd still block that whole.
It just says move through an adjacent opponent towards the edge of the board. Okay.
So it'd say he's not adjacent. And we could also have him move anyway.
So then he would move through me.
You go first, though, so you can take a step back after you attack.
That's true.
So then no one would be adjacent.
I didn't realize Damocles was like stuck all the way in the corner.
He's stuck in
there.
the corner there.
Oh, okay. Unless you want to run out and act as Hendrick's bait.
So but he doesn't attack anyone if no one's adjacent to him, right?
He will because there'll be someone in the sphere of influence.
So he just does a spell. That's the second part.
And then he pulls you in, and then he would, I guess, just move towards you because of the new updated rules we're using.
Well, that's otherwise.
Oh,
so that's if you can't do the first
no,
one.
it says continue down.
On this one, it says otherwise move. It gets rid of the third one.
Oh, okay.
And changes that with an otherwise move.
Okay.
So he never does that third thing.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just otherwise move.
Nobody puts Damocles in the corner. Nobody.
So I think I'm gonna. Can I have barrier token? I'm gonna put that on myself.
If you ask nicely.
And then I'll kind of like, I want to be kind of diagonal with you, I guess. Not quite adjacent to him. On the other side of the hindrance train.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That way I'll get sucked in and then I can hit him and walk back out.
Makes sense. All right. That's the end of...
What is his conviction die?
His conviction die is 2 greens,
Okay.
which is particularly
Josh, I think
strong.
I'm going to end up using Minos the Contractor. If you would pull him out when I'm ready.
What? Josh, is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right, Anne, it's your turn. I mean, Twitch, it's your turn. Anne already went. Did nothing. I mean, bided her time.
Bye, Matt.
For us, Doombreak, Pew Pew Pew, Spear Spell.
So Doom Break, they need to roll a black die?
Do they have to move or no?
That did do Doom Break.
Doombreak is black die.
And then they're within 6 spaces.
He's,
Right?
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're fine.
The barrel doesn't count because it's blocking line of sight.
Oh, it is. They do need to move. But they can move and get in line of sight.
can you show me where the thing is that's blocking line of sight? 'Cause it's a little difficult for me to see.
There's a barrel right here. In between Damocles and Zeke. There's an impassable barrel right here on the floor. They rolled 4
Yeah, but
shields.
their Twitch is in the same row, so they shouldn't have to move. It would be through Damocles, right? Or you're saying that
that's all
little
blocked
bit...
There's also a barrel
behind
here.
the line of
So
sight.
there's like a diagonal expanse of barrels right here that block out Damocles completely.
So Twitch can actually use
Gotcha.
their free movement to go just down south on the board.
How much movement do they have for free?
The full move, so 6 places.
2, 3, like this.
Yeah, and they should.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay.
Thank you for the follow.
It's Drardvark. Drardvark.
The doctor.
I don't
It's a
know.
PhD.
Oh, is it?
It's Dr. Jardvark.
Okay, so they moved there. They said pew pew pew, right?
They do want to pew pew pew. You guys can also organic liquefy. I don't know if it's worth it or not.
What's organic liquefy do?
The second card there
But what's it do?
does.
Deal magic damage equal to the number rolled using the target's 2 best conviction die. Oh, so it uses their damage against them.
Yeah.
His conviction die
Pretty
are
good considering
2
they got
greens.
2... You said his conviction die are green?
2 green.
Which goes up to 9.
So they could do 18 damage on a hit
Potential
theoretically,
18. Minimum is 2 4s,
which is 8.
which is 8.
What is his health? I know Josh was like 300.
147.
Jesus. Okay.
I mean, I haven't even hit him yet. I do like 300 damage on a turn.
I don't know if that's true.
So if it's between 8 and 18, then you average that to, what, like 13? Yeah, let's organic liquefy, then spear.
Okay. So you guys are going to roll, what's their casting?
So, hold on. They had 3 SP, right? They
get
gained
one from
1
what?
from
Doom Break.
Doombreak. So then they're going to use 3 for organic liquefy.
Yep,
So
they
they're
have
down to
one
the
left.
last one. So organic liquefy.
What? How much is Gorshot?
It's
One.
1.
5?
Yeah, 5 damage, but they
Sorry,
also take a
how
damage.
much per SP does Gorshot do?
5 damage per an SP.
3P, yeah, I was thinking the same thing video game was. 3P would give us 15 damage. So for organic liquefy, Matt, you said it's average 13. So min 8, max 18.
Yeah. So, I mean, the safer route would be to gore shot, but then you're hurting yourself slightly. Which, next turn, it would heal you with your blood ring 2. So you would do net 1 damage to yourself.
Oh, they got rid of the book. That's right.
Yeah, I think I might just pew-pew there.
Okay.
If organic liquefy was cheaper...
I know you...
It's also, how hard is it going to be for them to hit? Because they roll a red die. They have a red... cast an upgrade of red?
Yeah, so red plus black... I mean, red plus 6, because it's a spell 6. And then he rolls a 2 greens for his conviction. So what's red?
It goes up to 9 as well.
It's
It
5.
has a lower. It goes down to 3.
So 3 to 9, which means that you're looking at between 9 and 15, and his average is going to be a 13. So your odds are not that great that he's actually going to get hit.
Yeah.
So that's true. It might actually be worth it to do the organic liquefy because it's a guaranteed hit.
It has the same odds of hitting.
You have better chances over three tries to get some damage in rather than.
That's true. You would have.
But they do have a reroll with their dress if they roll badly.
I think Gore Shot. My personal opinion is definitely up to Twitch, but I think based on that information, it's probably more strategically advantageous to do Gore Shot.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think because of the dress, I would probably do organic liquefy.
So the other thing they do have the spear, so if they do miss, they can tap it to get a token on it. So they could do a couple rounds of Gore Shot and get a couple tokens on it, then they add those tokens to their future rolls. So then when they go to do organic liquefy, they get +3 to their roll and have a reroll.
That's an interesting concept. Very, very interessante, por favor. So, chat, let us know what you want to do. I think my vote's...
what you want to do.
But to get the token, taps the spear, and then we can't do the spear spell.
Yep, you can't do the spear spell.
So do you want to play it safe or risk it for the biscuit?
When you put it that way.
It's a biscuit with honey butter, too. It's a good biscuit. Nice and,
Flaky.
warm and fresh out the oven. Let's try liquefy and see how it goes. All right, so they're liquefying time, so they need to roll a
red die and 2 green dice.
Red and 2 green. So you want to roll high on the red and low on the green. You have spell 6, so you're going to add 6 to whatever your red die roll is, and they have to beat, or they have to meet.
Meet
the
meet
green.
or beat. Attacker wins on ties.
Cool.
Okay,
they won. They rolled a 5, but the greens were shitty, so they rolled 10 on the greens, so they rolled 11 in total, so they're good.
So what's the organic liquefy say?
So the organic liquefy is deal magic damage equal to the number rolled using the target's 2 best conviction die.
So they rolled a 10, so it's going to do 10 damage to the enemy.
Yeah. Can't complain about that. All right, and so then they've got their spear spell, which is exhaust 1 SP to cast spell 6, deal your target a green of magic damage. So it would be the same thing. They need to roll red and
red
2 green. So red, 2 green. If they beat this, they roll a green and do that much damage.
Yep.
Schwanker. How much health is he?
The Nightingale's kind of
137.
beefy.
Beefy. Beefaroni.
Rolled a 9.
Oh, they got enough.
They got enough.
Wow, because they rolled a 9, even though the green was a 9 and a 5. They beat it by 1 again, so good job there. Do they get anything for their...
No, they don't get anything for symbols. So they're going to roll a green die.
So then they roll a green die.
Roll another 9.
Yeah, another 9 would be nice. It's the black dog.
So let's real quick back. So if they roll... The max they can do with liquefy...
It's 18.
No. It's 15.
Oh, because they have to...
They have to beat.
Yeah. They rolled a 7, so they're going to do 7 damage.
Nice.
That's not bad.
It's no baity tool.
That's 17 damage in 1 turn.
Yeah.
It's down to 130.
That's pretty good.
Took 20 damage.
All right, so then next up is Damocles. So, Josh, you're in charge of Damocles.
Okay. Damocles is gonna...
Damn, Oakleys.
Damn, Oakleys!
Damn, Daniel.
Kill them with the white bands.
You ready, Josh?
I'm seeing what the best thing to do with him.
Josh, you know what Damn Daniel's from?
No.
I didn't think so.
He does have reach.
Technically not adjacent for break attack. What does that mean?
What? I'm not going to get a break attack for moving because of the obstructing terrain. Matt, I want to put Damocles next to Remi, diagonal back from you.
Here?
Yep.
If he moves, I want to point out that when you mentioned break attacks, it reminded me. If he moves, he provokes a break attack from me.
Okay, gotcha.
And then he's going to do Schrödinger Scythe. So let's have Twitch roll this.
Is it a scythe or isn't it a scythe?
We don't know. We'll never know. It's going to be a green, a red, and a black.
Roll that beautiful bean footage, Twitch. A green, a red, and a black. So this is what Damocles is doing?
Yep.
Okay, and
He's
he
got
has
reach 2.
Green beans,
and he's got
red
to beat
beans.
a defense of 13.
black beans. They're all beans. That works.
Oh, they missed.
It's a great roll.
Yeah, they beat it up, and they missed.
That was a 17.
That black die, man.
That was nice. Oh well. Ba-dum. So there's nothing they can do about that.
Nah, there's no reroll.
Okay.
Oh wait.
I just cleared it. I hate you.
He does have hammer helm. He
I
can
have
reroll
it.
any dice. So reroll the black die.
You have it, Ann?
I had it. Sorry, it was an 8 and a 9. 8 green, 9 red. You've got the dice in front of you.
Yeah,
That's
that's
8 green,
true.
9 red.
Okay.
Thank you, Ann.
Okay.
So he's going to exhaust himself to do that because he has hammer helm. All right. Very, very nice. All right, so we have 17.
Very nice.
Okay. So he beat it by 4.
Keep you by 4. Then he's got +1 physical damage just because.
Because.
5.
Okay.
He, for every book and shield combo, which he has 3, he does +2 physical damage, so he's got 6. That's 11.
Did you include the book and shield that's on his black die?
I did not. 13.
Okay.
Yeah, 13 damage.
Cool.
Does he have any shield or armor?
No.
Okay. So minus 13.
So this is the... Oh.
What?
He was supposed to counter before. And hit him, right?
Counter only happens if they miss.
That's right. If
or
they
do
miss.
no damage.
Never mind.
No, I did not hit him.
That's right. You didn't hit him anyways. Maybe not, because it says each time he is attacked, he will counter. Or does that still mean that they have to miss?
No, each time is attacked, he will counter with a range 6. Yeah, he should have countered.
Okay.
Okay, so who attacked him first? Or is it just Damocles was the only one that hit him?
And you didn't attack? I thought you attacked, but you missed.
I attacked, I didn't... yeah, I attacked and missed.
So he still would counter you. So first Dan, and then Damocles.
Okay, sorry, we gotta redo this a little bit. So it is an attack 6 range. So it is...
I'm rolling my black die to dodge.
Green and a gray. Do. All right, so they rolled a 13.
Wait, I'm exhausting my morbid leather to re-roll my dodge.
Okay. So how much defense do you have?
10.
So you need 4 shields. You got 3 books and a shield, so you still get hit. So you have 11, so he beat you by 2. He got a book and a shield combo. So that's going to be an additional 2 damage.
4 damage?
Yeah, so Anne's going to take 4 damage. And then, Anne, you need to make a Force 13 check.
Hold on. I'm trying to make sure that I don't have anything to mitigate that. No, it's melee attacks, and this is ranged attack.
Yeah.
You do have 2 armor. So you're only going to take 2 damage.
Oh, that's not bad.
And then Force 13 is my conviction die.
Yeah, you roll your conviction.
Do I have a conviction die upgrade? The screen went black again.
I got it.
I thought I did.
So you're only down to 18 health. You're fine.
Are
no
my
conviction
conviction
upgrade.
die only purple?
Yep, 2 purples. You had your
Lame.
piercings on before, but that was you traded that out for your poison immunity.
So Anne rolled
I have 8.
8, so he pulls you 4 spaces closer.
It's really nowhere to.
I mean, she
I
would
would
go
crash into.
in this space here.
I would crash into Zeke.
Well, she would go here, right?
I guess.
There's.
I don't know.
Hold on, I think it said a rule for it. Let me reread his card quickly.
You moved Damocles.
He was here.
Yeah, she'd been diagonal of.
Do. So pull 12.
I don't think throwing knives count as an attack.
Okay, so
Josh, do I have any icons on my hurt box?
No.
okay, no. So since I'm blocking it, she would get stopped early.
Okay, so she would stay where she was at.
Yeah, so she wouldn't move.
Okay.
I block his fleshy appendages from you, Anne.
Rook was down a space.
I mean, thanks. That's a true friend.
So friends are 4. So then now it's gonna attack back on
Damocles.
Damocles. Damocles. Damocles. Say it, Josh.
Damocles.
You're so funny. Hee 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 hee. Okay.
I can't counter a ranged attack, right?
I mean, technically you're close enough, but do you have a counter? Oh, you do have a counter.
Yeah, I can
You could, but
exhaust
you
my
just go
black
back
ticket.
and forth with him if you want. Oh, you took damage then.
Yeah,
You took damage. You can't counter.
No, yes, I can. Okay.
Oh, he just beat the shit out of Damocles. They rolled an 18 with stars and shit. So the stars are going to inflict disease on Damocles.
Ugh.
And then he's got... is that 1, 2, 3 shields and 3 books?
Yep.
Okay, so that's
Correct.
6 additional damage. So what's Damocles' defense?
He has a defense of 12.
So he beats him by 6.
Okay. And he does additional 6 damage on top of that.
And inflicts disease. So he does 12 damage and disease.
12 damage. He has 2 armor, so he's going to do 10 damage.
That's nasty. So, Anne, do you remember what disease is? Okay, cool. You may not have positive effects or remove damage or other effects, so you can't heal while you have disease.
That's a good catch.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a good throw, but... how much HP does he have left, Josh?
100 and...
I think Damocles.
17. Oh, 6.
You almost one-shotted Damocles? Damocles! Alright, so now it's my turn.
Yep.
Okay, so I get 4 SP at the beginning of my turn. Let's have some fun.
Do I get a vow token? Can I have the status token?
Also, we have Balm, right? What's a vow token do? Yes, we do have Balm. I don't know what a vow token is, Josh.
It might be in here.
What does it do?
It lets you do more damage, I think, later. I don't recall.
How do you get a vow token?
So Damocles has... anytime Damocles is dealt 3 or more damage from a single source, he gains a vow token. So vow is when you deal damage, you deal 2 plus 2 damage of the same type. So he's going to vow to hit him back.
Okay, that's cool. All right, my turn. I have 4 SP. I'm going to tap Blade Works, and I'm going to use the attack on that. Let's do it, Home Slice. All right, so I'm rolling a green and a red. I rolled, 9 and a 7.
Okay, 16.
16. That beats him by 3.
Oh, technically, you're also still flanking.
Yeah.
So you beat him by another 3 from the roll because you get plus 3 to it.
So I beat him by 6.
And then you do 5 additional damage because of backstab. You get
Right.
2 additional damage because you beat him by at least 2.
Correct.
So you're at 13. What symbols you got?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shields and books, so that's 5 additional damage.
All right.
And then
so you're at 18.
And then I am going to use my star to gain a follow-up plus 1 SP.
Okay.
So I'm up to my max SP now.
Okay.
And so how much damage did I
That's
do?
18.
18. I'm okay with this.
So, question here.
So he's at 99?
Yeah, he'll be at 99. You can spend SP to do additional damage,
I can.
or you attack again.
So
He's going to counter each time you attack, though,
So it's +2 physical damage per attack
per an SP.
per SP. He hits hard. Do I want to just make one big ol' hit?
You could also flip your... you could flip that if you want to try to hit roll if you miss.
The fortune cookie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably want to save that.
I'm going to just attack again because my attacks are just way more powerful.
Okay.
I think I'm okay with this.
Okay. So you're going to do 18 damage.
Yeah.
So he's down to 99 health.
Okay. Now he's going to counter me.
He's going to counter you.
Okay. So his counter, I could dodge, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to dodge. He counters with a green and a red.
Yep.
Green and a gray, which is a lot. And so I need to roll a black die.
Chat's asking if you want to save your SP to dodge later.
Probably a good idea.
You also want to move away from him, so there's no
Yeah.
access to him.
Yeah. 4 books.
You can re-roll it.
Can I see what he has
Nope.
first?
Cannot.
I'll re-roll it. 2 books. 2 shields. Oh, wow. Thanks. Okay, so he doesn't hit me.
Do you have a counter ability at all? Or
I
no?
don't have a counter ability. I
Okay.
just have attack abilities. So I'm going to then spend 2 SP. Boop, boop, to attack.
Okay.
So I roll a green and a red.
It's in the corner.
Nobody puts my dice in the corner. Except for me, that is. I rolled a 9 and a 5.
So that's 14
14.
plus 3.
That's 17.
17. You're beating it by 2.
By 4.
By 4. So you get 4 damage plus 2 from your thing.
Plus
5
5.
damage from that. So you're at 11. And what do you got for symbols?
I've got a star, which is 3 damage.
All right. Plus another 3.
Plus another 4.
Plus another 4. So you're at 18.
Again. Yay. Yeah, so I'll do 18 damage.
All right. So you're down to 81.
Okay.
He's got a counter.
Okay, so I'm going to clear these out, and then I will ask for a green and gray. Oh, that's right. Shit.
What?
Book special on dodge for the glass dagger. I rolled 2 books, so it dealt 2 damage
Would you
back
have not
to
re-rolled it if you had the 4 books?
I didn't know that he was going to roll
Yeah,
shitty.
I'm just
so
asking.
No,
Right,
I
so
wouldn't.
-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I need a green and a gray. Thank you for that,
Is it
chat.
green and a gray for him?
Yeah. He hits hard. The gray's like the highest die, right?
You have the rulebook. It's on the back of the rulebook, the order.
I don't know. Yeah, gray's the highest die. Goes up to 10.
He rolls a 14,
Yeah.
so it does hit.
Oh, shit, I wanted to dodge. Whatever.
Did you have another dodge?
Yeah, I have a tap on my switchblade.
Oh.
I'm just going to say I dodged. It didn't matter. Okay, so it didn't do anything. So you rolled a 14.
You have an 11, so that beats you by 4.
Yeah.
What's the symbols do?
A book and shield combo is 2 damage,
So he's at 6 damage.
and then a star is disease.
All right. So you have 1 armor. So you're going to take 5 damage.
Okay. It's a ranged. Shit. Okay. And then I get disease.
Yep.
So disease is...
Which means you lose.
You may not have positive effects.
You
So
lose your courage
and my haste.
and your haste.
That sucks. A lot. Okay. So courage and haste go away. What's my health at?
20.
I'm going to attack again. Because screw you. Okay. I can't heal myself now. That sucks. I rolled a 15
All right.
plus 2.
Plus 3. It's 18. You're beating him by 5.
Yep.
Plus Father 5, you're 12, and then your symbols.
Symbols are less now. So it's just shields now. So +3.
15.
Okay. Cool.
It's now at 64 health.
Okay. And then he attacks me again.
Yep.
And that's a green and a gray. So I'm not going to dodge this charm. Because I don't have anything left to dodge with. And I'm going to cross my fingers and hope here.
It's an 11. That's just enough to hit. But he doesn't have any icons.
So he doesn't do any damage.
He doesn't do any damage.
Okay, I could live with that. So then I'm going to flip over my fight drive. And I'm going to attack him again.
Okay.
Oh, 7 + 4.
Is an 11 plus 3 is a 14.
That actually beats him by
1.
It beats him by 1. I'm going to flip my fortune cookie. I'm going to add a white die to this.
Is white or purple better?
I think white's better.
I think so too.
I add 7.
All right, so that's
That's 18 right there.
18
Plus
+3, so that's 21.
beat him by
So
2.
You're beaten by 8,
Right, so +2.
so you're at 10.
Yeah.
+5 for flanking.
15. Plus symbols. So my star is
+3.
+3 damage. And then I've got 3 shields, so 3 more.
21 damage.
21. Okay.
21 damage.
Yeah, 21 all day, day. And then I'm going to spend my last SP to go run away. Or no, he's going to break attack me then, wouldn't he?
He will. But he won't do whatever he run through you or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't really want him to do that, so
Okay, so I'm going to...
just take a step if you want.
Yeah, I'll run away. I'll go here. And so then he's going to break attack me. Can't dodge it or anything. Did I do good, Paw?
Did good, Pa.
Okay, so they rolled a... This is where he kills me. Oh,
10.
10. So he does nothing.
He does nothing.
Cool. I think Zeke just set a new record. New record! I was still going to use my fortune cookie either way, even if I rolled poopy. So I wish that I rolled better on that one red die, because if I would have rolled like 9-7-7, I would have just exploded him. Sorry, what'd you say, Ann?
What does that put his health at now?
43. It's a little more manageable.
74 damage in a turn. Not.
Why he has 300 health now in the update.
Probably, yeah.
All right, who's next?
Next is the dude, Hendrix. So is there an opponent adjacent?
No.
Is there an opponent within Sphere of Influence?
Yes.
Cast a spell 6 on up to 2 different opponents within Sphere of Influence.
You and Josh.
So spell 6, his casting is green.
Okay.
So it would be me and Josh then?
Sure. Because he's going to pull us, right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with
We want to be adjacent to him anyway, so we
Yeah.
can hit him and run back out.
it. Exactly. So he's going to roll... Does he roll separately for each of us?
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to roll 2 greens. First one's going to be for you. Second one's going to be for me. It's green +6. My conviction is just 2 purples.
Mine is also 2 purples. I have the app, so I can use that.
Okay. I actually rolled okay. I rolled 2 6s.
I rolled a 7.
He rolled a 15. Okay, so he gets us both.
Wait. He rolled a 13 and a 14, Matt.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah.
I still think that beats both of us.
It does.
But
Yeah, sorry. I brain farted
plus 6
there.
to each of them for each of us.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So how much does it not do damage then?
What does it say?
Cast a spell 6 on 2 different opponents within Sphere of Influence. Inflict Paralyze and pull 4.
Yep.
So Paralyze, we just can't move next turn?
Yep. So we're going to end our turn next to him.
I think we're gonna end him next turn.
Yeah,
Joshua.
you have paralyzed over there, Matt. It's in your thingy.
It's in my thingy.
It's in your thingy.
It's in my thingy.
That's gross.
Paralyzed. You may not take actions or use abilities. Discard at the end of your next turn. So you can't
can't
do
do shit.
anything. Oh, that sucks.
Josh, can you send me a picture of this Spirit Blade Loyal Esper?
Yep.
So, can someone get this paralyzed off of me? Can you come rub some salve on me? Some balm? Some balm? And do you have any balm you could rub on me?
Who's up next?
It is Remi's turn.
I don't know what I...
You do
Yeah,
have
it's
a
my turn
bomb.
next.
You have a balm. Oh, by the way,
What do
Josh,
I need
we're
to do to get it
adjacent
on you?
You just have to rub it all over my body.
Is it a free action?
Yeah, it's just a discard within Sphere of Influence.
Sphere. I like that it's within sphere of influence. You don't have to be adjacent to someone. You can just throw the bomb at them, and it smacks into them, and they're medicated.
I think it's great. That's fine. You can use the bomb for that to take it, because if you
two of them.
need to hit.
Do you just have both of them?
Twitch has one too, I think.
What's the text on it?
Remove an effect from an ally within Sphere of Influence.
Okay, so remove an effect. Okay, so, and you're removing paralyzed from me?
Yes.
All right.
You gonna remove it from me too?
No.
I only have one.
You have two.
That's fine.
Anne's playing medic.
This is lame. Y'all suck. Quit getting hurt.
I mean, you could hit him now. Didn't cost you any actions.
No, I know. They're both flips. I'm wondering if I want to summon.
You could summon your sword so you're flanking with it.
That's kind of what I was thinking of. That's why I wanted you to send me this. Did you send it
I
to me?
did send it to you.
Okay.
I did send it to you. My name's Josh. Boo boo boo.
I googled it online, but I just wanted to make sure that it was the same.
I googled it.
It is the same.
Boo
Oh my God, that's so crazy. Joshua, what did you do? Why would you send it to me like that?
Like
So
what?
I could do this?
Why'd you send it
My
to
camera
me
didn't
like
auto-rotate it. I'm sorry.
Anne doesn't have MS Picture, so she can't rotate things.
You don't even need MS Picture. You literally open it like the photo app and you just go rotate.
Yeah. Whatever. Not important. Okay. Yes. Flip my summoning.
Which one?
Flip my
And we're-
summoning.
What?
My summoning ability.
Okay.
Gain summon tokens equal to your highest level assemblage disciplines.
Just two.
Spend a number of these tokens equal to the total Loyal Esper's cost to spawn them within your sphere of influence. Right, and so he is level 1, so I'm going to spend one summon token, but I get to keep my other summon token.
Yep. I'm just going to use this gray die to be the sword because I don't have the minifigure out right now.
At least it's a 10.
You're so dumb. Okay, so the rules for summoning are...
Arr.
Kufa's here.
Look at how big Anne's head is.
Yeah.
She sits like a shrimp.
Hate you. Hate
know-
you so much.
The posture of a shrimp, like.
Once summoned, the Loyal Esper is placed on the board within the summoner's sphere of influence, and their initiative card is added to the initiative track as if they had just been spawned. So this means we have to roll a black die to see
Yep.
where it goes.
Correctamundo.
Correctamundo.
Okay, so it's books or shields?
Shields.
2 shields.
So it's going to go after Nightingale.
Okay. What is that noise?
Matt farted.
I don't think so. Okay, so then I can put that aside for right now. Okay, and...
What are you trying to do there, homeboy?
What did you do? I'm so confused.
He tried to throw me the initiative card, and it just flopped down onto the board and destroyed everything. Because moving are
Okay,
hard.
I have 3 SP, right? Did I max out my SP last time?
Yeah, you used all your SPs. So you got 3.
Okay, so I'm going to try and attack again. and it didn't work. I'm going to
wait,
reroll.
Anne?
You're flanking now with your Esper.
Oh, that's right. So what does flanking give me? +3?
Matt, you have the book. Can't remember if it's plus. I think it's plus.
You've been saying +3 for
You have backstab, which gives you even more bonuses.
Yeah, it's not in here.
I might have to look for the actual section.
Well, just hold your horses. I mean, you have a computer in front of you too.
That's true.
So you could use the power of the interwebs, homeboy.
See flanking page 50.
Fitty?
50.
Fitty. Okay. Counter flanking. When two allies are on opposite sides, you get +1 to your attack roll and +3 physical damage.
Okay. And then for backstab, it's +2. 2 to your roll?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
off there.
So he's got a couple less health. He's got a couple more health, rather.
Yeah.
You want to adjust him up?
What did you do? 3 attacks? 4 attacks?
4 attacks.
4? Okay.
So heal the smallest is 3. I rolled a 4 on that. I should re-roll that heal die, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 4 you should definitely re-roll. You can re-roll the 6 if you want.
So that's an 8. No, I re-rolled the 4. That's it. I'm done. I'm holding on to that. Okay,
you rolled a
with the 8 and the
16
6.
in total, so that beats him by 3.
15 in total. 6 plus... Oh, 15, yeah. I don't know why I can't count. Sorry.
So it beats him by 3?
Sorry, what?
Beats him by 3.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beats him by 3.
Okay. And then flanking gives +2 damage?
+3 damage.
+3, so that's up to 6.
Yep. And what do you get symbol-wise?
Hold on, let me open up that window.
Double shields.
There we go.
So she has 2 pairs of double shields, so that's another +6.
1, 2. Yep. Anything
So
for
that's
stars?
At 12. +2
I get
damage.
+2 physical damage for stars.
So that's 14.
14. You get +1 physical damage for hammer helm.
15.
Yep.
Someone said armor bonus.
Yep. If an attack you make exceeds the opponent's defense by more than 2, deal +2 physical damage for morbid leather.
So 17.
17. Then you could also exhaust your Zambato to do an additional 3 damage.
Yep. Let's do that, please and thank you.
So it's 20.
Which actually ties me, because technically I only did 20 on my biggest turn, too. So nice work, Ann.
Now, no, I don't want to. I can exhaust the pole axe to do additional damage. But it's a 4 Satan. He's got really good conviction. So there's a follow-up for swap places with your target and roll a black die, deal 1 physical damage per shield rolled. Force 8 plus the difference of the hit.
I don't think it makes sense to do that.
But I don't. No, I think I agree. And so when you're, whenever you are dealt damage, for each damage dealt, you blah blah blah. I get to heal 1 because I have my familiar.
And you get no, you don't get anything in your box right now, right?
Correct. Because I didn't max out my heart.
Yep. Okay. So you're at 19 health. And that's you have 1 SP left. You gonna save it?
And should I move? Oh, he's got a counter now.
He does have a counter now. Matt,
Oh, sorry. I just
And Ann, are you dodging?
Yep. Yeah.
What'd you roll, girl?
You gonna
I
reroll
didn't
that?
do a damn thing.
Don't you have your flesh thing? Your morbid flesh?
Oh, yeah. Oh!
Whoa!
Great reminder.
So he rolled a 13 in toto.
Ann has a 14.
So you win.
So you win.
And additionally, that morbid leather, hold on. This is cool. Where is it?
When you are attacked by opponent, you are flanking, gain +1 attack. +1 defense, rather.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can't
I
counter
won
this.
on the counter. Well, I dodged, right?
Yep.
So I gained 1 SP because of Gauge.
What?
Yep, you do
And
get
now,
an SP.
can I counter with the black ticket?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so we're going to exhaust that.
Oh, shit.
I can't re-roll because I already re-rolled.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
It didn't.
That sucks.
Yep. You can make one more attack now. You have 2 SP. Oh, wait. You get countered again.
Yeah.
I'm definitely dodging.
You spend an SP to dodge?
No, I'm not. My cloak. Like, I've got dodges
How
for
did you
days.
dodge the first time?
Something else.
You don't
I
have
don't know.
anything else that gives you a
Find it.
dodge. Oh, sorry.
My
can-
morbid leather lets me dodge. Oh, no, that's the reroll.
No, that's the reroll. You can flip your familiar to dodge.
It's an unflip, though. Yeah, that's fine.
So she spent an SP? Or she's
So she
flipping a
flipped
familiar?
that, but she also gained an SP for it too.
Okay. So he rolled a 13 and's got 2 defense, so
That puts her
she...
at 12 plus the 1 from this, so that makes it a 13.
Yeah. So he still hits, technically.
He still technically hits.
So he's going to do 2 damage plus inflict disease on you, Anne. Okay. I'm not going to bother with the force thing because he's not going to be able to pull her anywhere anyways. So, and you take 2 damage and you get disease.
She has 2 armor, so she doesn't take any damage.
Oh, okay. So, and you get disease, which means you get no physical status tokens and you can't heal anymore.
Yep.
Okay.
And are you doing anything else on your turn?
You can still attack. You have 3 SP.
And then I'm going to get countered again?
Yeah.
Yep. But you have an SP to dodge.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do it again.
All right. So roly-poly, Ann. So you missed. You have
Yep.
Do you have a reroll from Hammerhelm or no? You already
I already
used it.
used it.
So now he's going to
I
counter
already
you,
used it.
and you're dodging. So roll your dodge dice. Did you roll a skull? No.
Four
you rolled
books.
books. It's book
4 books.
time. Book time, y'all. 2 books this time.
I hope he
10,
rolls
But he
really
rolled.
badly.
He only rolled a 10, so you don't get hit.
Okay, wait a second. Because now I get another SP from Gauge.
Yep. So you're at 1 SP.
She had 1 SP already.
She spent the 1 SP to dodge.
I get another one.
Oh, okay.
So you're at 1 SP.
Is that where you're
Okay, and I exhausted my black ticket, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Counter.
All right. So who's next?
Okay.
All right. So next up is Rook.
All right. First up, I'm gonna cast Courage on,
Take a Rook.
I guess, myself.
You're diseased, aren't you?
I'm not diseased.
Oh. Wait.
Or did I? No, we got paralyzed.
I healed you
Oh,
both.
you
I
didn't
threw
get diseased.
I didn't get disease.
bombs at you.
Okay.
Disease is from the counter.
Yeah, you didn't attack him
I
yet.
haven't attacked him yet. So I'm gonna cast Courage on myself.
Okay. Feeling good about yourself?
Aaron.
I'll find out.
Are you making Aaron take your dish?
No, he was very nice and he gave me grapes, but they've been in the fridge too long.
They turned into wine?
They did. It's
So I
magic.
can't flank him with anyone,
I can.
right?
No, you can't.
Okay. So I'm gonna attack where I'm at then.
How did Anne flank?
When you're at that weird angle, the Spirit Blade is still diagonal with her,
Okay.
so it counts as a flank.
Okay. Disease goes away after combat. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna stay where I'm at, and I'm gonna smack him.
You're going to keep rolling.
I'll cast
Magic
Barrier
missile?
on Twitch
Okay.
because they're not diseased yet.
Okay.
That's free.
You want to cast it on yourself?
I already have barrier on
Oh,
myself.
okay.
So I'm going to roll 2 teal dice.
Okay.
I rolled a 7.
That's not good.
No, not at all. Oh, I have a conviction upgrade
That's
white.
really terrible.
I screwed that up earlier. Okay. So he's going to counter me.
Okay. What's your defense, Josh?
My defense is
85.
11. My defense actually isn't great. It's like everyone else's. Just have
He's got 5
6
armor, though, so let him keep on talking.
Oh. You have 6 armor?
I have 6 armor.
That's a lot.
Oh, well, you should update your thing
It's
then.
because I have the barrier
Your
on me,
overlay.
so it's temporary.
So they rolled a 13.
Oh.
So it does 2 damage, but it does no damage.
There's no damage. I'm going to counter it.
Okay.
This is just going to be dumb because I'm not going to do anything.
You two are just going to slap each other. Like, you're going to be...
I rolled a 12.
Okay, he's got a defense of 13.
I have a star, which adds +1 to the roll.
Okay, so you tie him.
I tie him. I have 2 shields, so that's +2 physical damage. Or that's 2 damage.
So you do 2 damage to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 damage to him.
Go ahead and reduce his health there, Josh.
Right.
Now he's going to counter you. Because he hates you. And you
What
smell.
What is he at?
25 health.
25?
Yep.
25. You know, it's going to be upsetting because Damocles is going to wind up killing him.
That's going to be the best, though.
No. The Spirit Blade's going to end up killing him. This is what I want to have happen.
He just slapped Josh into next week. He rolled an 18.
Oh, wait. I did 1 more damage because I have a book, and I do have...
That's good. That 24, that 1 damage is real good. Can we get back to the part where he just murdered you?
All right, so 18.
Yeah.
He's beating me by 7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do?
Good for you,
Once per encounter,
6
when
armor.
you're dealt damage from an attack, ignore all physical damage dealt to you.
Okay.
I just used that. Block that shit.
Block that
it.
shit.
Fuck
Block
it.
that shit.
Which means, guess what?
You're going to counter.
I'm going to counter.
Your face, though, when he rolled that, you're just like, oh, no.
12 again. I have the +1 star.
So
There
it
was-
hits.
Oh, it's good.
So, Video Game Voyeur, he actually got 4 health back because we found out that we were accidentally adding 1 additional attack to all of my 4 attacks, so that's why there's a 4 discrepancy there. So he really has 24 and not 20.
So I have 3 icons, so that's 3 damage.
Ew, gross. You do 3 damage?
3 more damage.
You know what he's going to do?
He's going to attack me again.
Okay. He's going to do an old crack attack. He's attacking your bum. Hitting you in the bum.
That's what happens when Josh wears his pants so low all the time. It's just a prime target.
You know, you could roll a 10 on the gray die. What happened to the gray die? There he
Just
is.
a second. 13.
13.
It's beating me by 2.
Does 2 damage more, so it doesn't do anything.
4
to
damage. All right. I'm going to counter again. I'm just going to spend an SP to counter this time.
you. Okay.
There was a whole night where this happened. He fought this, and I just
I rolled a 10.
I counted all the dents you put in his ceiling.
So
That's what I did.
I'm gonna lose my courage now because I missed.
Okay.
Oh darn!
He's gonna counter.
So the max on a green is a 9. So he could technically roll a 19 and really just mess your day up. It's not even going to do that much damage to you, to be honest.
I know.
He rolled 8.
All right.
That's like the worst possible roll. It's just like no symbol. He's like, I'm
gonna
8.
counter again.
Okay.
I rolled an 11.
You do nothing.
He attacks me again.
At least you did some damage in the beginning. What do you think he's going to roll here, Ann? Oh! 10 and
So
an
good.
8. It's just like the second highest roll he could get.
So 18.
18.
It's beating me by 7.
Yeah.
Plus how much from the rolls?
Plus. That's how many? He's got 3 shields, 3 books, so plus 6.
Plus 6.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to use my once per encounter after a roll is made against to remove all the symbols from one die, so that 10 has no symbols now.
Okay.
So he's beating me by 7, and then he has a book and a shield, so...
2 more damage.
So 9.
Yeah. You have 6 armor, so he does 3 damage.
3 damage. Oh, 3 damage.
And more importantly, you don't get diseased.
I don't get diseased. And guess what?
You're going to counter.
I'm going to counter with my full plate, which lets me counter even though I took damage. Though I
Okay.
could use my alignment machine, and since I missed my attack, I get to attack again.
Yeah.
Same thing, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
So I'm gonna attack again. Even though I'm not doing anything, I'm just enjoying this.
It's like building
I
your
rolled
fish
a
mountain.
10.
So you do nothing. But you know what the fun part is?
He
gonna
counters.
counter. What do you think he's going to roll here, Anne?
I hope he kills you just for making the rest of us wait. I hope it's a 19 this time. I really do.
Not my fault they made this counter build like this.
And he rolled a
You should game responsibly.
11.
11. I will counter it.
Okay.
All right, I rolled a 12
So you
plus the star,
so you hit.
so I hit.
But how does he did an 11. Attacker wins on tie. Oh, you have barrier. Barrier's not gone. You didn't lose that
Oh,
yet?
wait.
He's also
Wait,
got 6
no.
armor.
Sorry, I rolled the wrong thing. A plus
Armor
3 is
doesn't stack
11
with
plus
defense,
1
though,
is
does it?
12. I
It
don't
doesn't.
hit.
It prevents damage from being done.
I did not.
Yeah.
I need to roll at least a 12 on this.
Okay.
I didn't hit, so he's gonna attack me again.
Okay.
I'm
So-
going to go get some steak. I'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe me. Do 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 do. Josh is getting hit. Meow, 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 meow. And he rolled a 14.
14. Okay,
Does that hit you?
that's gonna hit me.
It's gonna do plus 2 damage.
Plus 2 damage. So 3
Oh, boy.
plus 2 is 5.
So you don't take any damage, but you get
I
diseased.
do get disease, so I lose my barrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you go.
Finally.
And then I will
Counter.
counter again. I rolled
How
11.
did you get?
So he misses.
I miss.
That was your last possible counter, right?
I have 1 counter left.
How do you?
I do have 1 SP left that I could counter with, but I'm going to use that to move and take a step back. But, yes.
I mean, you don't really need to.
Are you
considering
sure? I mean,
he's,
you could
he's not
counter.
going to get to go again.
Okay, so we just keep countering this out. They rolled a 4 and a...
Doesn't matter.
no, that's 12. That's a hit. Does
Yeah.
no damage.
It has no damage.
I'm going to counter.
Okay. And what did you roll?
Rolled a 12.
So you don't hit.
Yep.
So now
I need
he's
some better dice, Matt.
so now he's gonna go.
Mm.
And let's see what we got. And disappeared. She just withered away to nothing.
I died.
An
Waiting.
11. Go ahead, Josh.
I'll counter it.
Do it.
My last counter.
You know
I
you want it.
did it! I hit it. I did 2 damage to him.
And now he's gonna counter. Is this gonna be his big finale? A 10 and a 9. He's just like, no! Just slaps you into oblivion.
I have 1 thing left from my turn.
Jesus Christ. 9 and
17.
8. 17.
Beats me by 6.
Plus, he's got 2 shield book combos, so that's plus 4.
All right, so that's 10 minus 5, so it's 5 damage.
Yeah. And you're already diseased, so you can't get extra diseased.
So I'm down to 10 health. That's fine.
Yep.
And now I'm going to tap my shield. I rolled a skull, so it does nothing. For every shield I rolled, I would have done damage to him.
Oh, because you ended your turn adjacent to him, you take a purple die of damage.
Oh. I forgot. That's why I wanted to take a step back.
Yeah.
Oh, well. We'll take a purple die.
Well, you're
I
purple.
rolled a 5.
Take 5 direct damage. That's more damage than he actually did to you.
Yep.
It was because of his fleshy appendages. All right, so now it's Twitch's turn.
I mean, I could drink an MF Fortitude to get an SP.
No. Doombreak, Liquefy, Ambitious, Pew Pew, Ring, Spear. You are on the ball, Video Game Warrior. So Doombreak, they roll a black die. Liquefy, Ambitious, Pew Pew, Ring, Spear. What's Ring? Oh, Blood Ring.
Yep.
All right. So,
He's had time to work this. Or she has time to work this out.
so they didn't roll a skull, so they gain an SP.
They still gain the SP anyways. It's just if that gets flipped or not.
So they're at 4 SP?
They're at 4 SP.
So now they're going to liquefy. So that's going to
3.
take them down to 1 SP. So now they need to roll a red and 2 greens for him.
Yep.
And it's going to
Where's
be...
his health at after Josh did like all of his half points of damage?
He did like 4 points of damage. He's at like 17 health. Josh, what's his health actually at?
His health is at 19.
Oh, so you did less than I thought. All right, so they rolled... So it's they don't hit. So the conviction beats them. So they can tap their dress to re-roll the red die.
Yes.
So let's re-roll that red die.
Which is a great idea.
I have the dress here. That's
Oh, whatever. Fine. Because a 14's not bad. They just need to roll a 8.
8. It's 1/3 chance.
Ooh.
8 or 9.
It's not great. 7. They're off by 1. Wah, wah. All right. So they still fail.
Actually.
It's disappointing.
Actually, what?
So do they want to tap their spear for the +1 token, or?
I think I saw a spear for attack.
Yeah, I'm asking if they can do either or.
I think considering the length that this battle is going to go at this point,
Okay.
that they probably are going to use the spear for an
Okay.
attack. That's just my assumption here. Josh has to poop. So now they are going to... What did they say? They said they're going to ambitious. So what's ambitious do?
They get 2 SP.
Once per end can counter. So they're going to get 2 SP. Let's still attack with it. All right, so they're going to gain 2 SP, so they're at 3 SP. We're all going to gain 1 SP. So, Anne, if you can make a note of that for yourself. Then they wanted to pew pew. So they're going to pew pew twice. So I'm going to have them roll a red and 2 green. This is for the first pew.
I like how it's the first pew.
The first pew. The first of the 2
Alright,
pews. All right. Let's see what they got here. Little happy little trees there. And they rolled a 9. Nice. So they definitely hit. So they're going to take a damage to inflict 3 additional damage is how it works, I believe. It is, you may...
Yes, because their highest level core spell is level 3.
Yeah, and you take 1 irreducible damage. They're going to take 1 damage. They're going to do 5 damage in toto to him. So he's down
so that's
to
going to take him...
14. So let's clear the dice out. And let's roll another red and 2 greens for the second of the pews. Joshy took 5 damage. He took 5 damage. We all gained an SP. And let's see what they roll here. They rolled a 7, as long as it's not higher than a 6. Oh, it's a 9. They failed. Okay, so then they're down to 1 SP. Now they wanted to use the flesh, the ring of blood. So they're going to gain.
They can't use Ring of Blood yet.
Why not?
When you deal damage to an opponent, you can heal 2.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So they have to use the spear first.
Gotcha. So then they're going to
again.
tap the spear. So they attack with Mr. Spear. And they're going to roll red and 2 green. So, again, they need to beat it, and then they'll do a green of direct damage if they beat their conviction. Convictione. And they roll a 7, 5. So they hit. So we need to roll a green die, and that's how much direct damage they're going to do. Roll a 9 here. That would be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be really good.
Josh, is the bottom of the Spirit Blade asterisks, or is it blue and orange?
Teal and orange.
Okay.
They did 6 direct damage, Josh.
Okay.
So he is down to 8 health. And that is the end of their turn. They've got no more SP. Cool. So now it is going to be Anne's Familiar's turn.
It's not my familiar, it's Esper. The familiar's a dragon. Get it right.
Whatever.
Get it right, get it right. Okay, I am not spending that thing.
Your
token
giant
on it.
head away from me. It's so big. Get away.
Yeah, what are you doing with him?
He's got Onslaught, so we're going to use his 3 SP to do that.
Josh, who am I?
So it's a regular blade melee attack.
So you can roll a teal and an orange die.
Oh, Remi is actually a Pokemon trainer. A cat, a familiar, and some summons.
It does have 4 SP because you did ambitious, but so and you could actually just do 2 separate attacks if you wanted.
Okay, so I rolled a 13. So that's a hit, right?
That is a hit.
It is a hit.
So it's going to be the book and shield is +1 to the roll. He's got charm piercing, so it's 4 damage.
4 damage.
Nothing for stars.
It's also flanking, so it gets +1 to the roll. That's
And-
5, and then plus
Ooh,
2
okay.
damage.
3 damage.
3 damage. So that's 8.
So he's going to do 8 damage.
Yep.
So he's dead.
I told you the sword was going to do it.
I'm kind of upset I didn't get to attack again.
I'm sad Damocles didn't like to get to attack and kill himself in the process. Because he has
Wait a second,
determined
I have
damage.
a follow-up. I
Damocles
get
may
to make
deal.
another blade attack against the same target.
May
Oh,
deal
wait, and then I
himself
have a
irreducible
second
damage
follow-up.
to
I
his
get to make
remaining
another
HP.
blade.
And it's dead.
It's dead.
Okay. Nice work, team. I can see why it has 300 health now. All right.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in the book first that you have to read.
No, I don't want to. All right. So, stuff in the book. Do-do-do-do-do. The reading range. He didn't move at all.
You moved once.
You know what's cool is Zulifakar, the Spirit Blade, lasts through stuff. He doesn't go away.
Reveal medium hidden card UM24 and gain the augmented monocle. Ooh, we fancy now.
Ooh, we got a monocle? Who's gonna wear the
Excuse
monocle?
me. Anne's familiar got a monocle.
Ah, the Spirit Blade is gonna wear a monocle.
Because it's just got one eye anyways.
Yeah.
It might have an eye on the other side.
No. It doesn't.
Might have eyes on all of its sides, besides its feet.
Except the bottom.
That's the one.
What was it? 20.
23? 23,
24.
23, 24. Oh, yeah, 24. 24, 24, 24. Ooh. No, I want to see it. You don't get to see it. Don't read it. Don't read it. You can't read. Okay.
In general.
Augmented monocle.
You're enabled.
It gives you +3 defense, conviction upgrade to green, your perception is 7, immunity to darkness, and once per encounter, an opponent within sphere of influence gains the nemesis token. Allies get +1 to attack rolls made against this nemesis. You may only have one nemesis at a time. Josh just wants it because he's going to counter dumb stuff.
It gives me extra defense.
You don't need it, Joshua.
You don't.
I definitely need the conviction upgrade. My conviction's poopy.
My conviction's poopier.
Everybody's conviction's poopier, and I have 2 purples for conviction. But what does Nightingale have?
Your core is your Twitch's core is the ghost canister.
Yeah.
We get a loot card, right? Because we defeated an opponent.
Yeah.
My core is
got
my
9
heart
gold.
box. I don't want to get rid of that.
Did we get any XP from this or no?
I'm not there yet. But we get his monocle. So we'll figure out what happens to this later. So then the win condition is Restore Adventurers. Each party member gains 1 XP.
Matt, the party card is in the book. And you guys do get the party sheet is in Anne's drawer.
Why did you say it was in the book?
I don't know. I was just not thinking.
Sometimes Josh just says things that resemble words and hopes people will understand him.
No, it's things
I
that
can have a pencil, please.
it's things that assemble words.
That makes sense.
So we all get an XP?
Yeah. Thank you.
We're going to have to ramble off what our
And we get
XP is
a
at now.
mundane consumable. Let's take a look. It's in a book.
And I can't tell if I have
Reading Rainbow.
And I can't tell if it's
a 0
a
or a 10.
0 or a 10 or a 10. How many XP do I have, Josh? 21.
Zeke has
We
5.
should probably change the scene, Matt.
You should probably change your, face.
I tried.
I'm trying to change it, but Josh took away my ability to change it.
So rude.
All right.
I think I'm at 11.
It means he's really at 7, but he's cheating.
No idea.
Yep.
And then a random consumable for Twitch. RuPaul.
RuPaul?
They got them throwing knives.
They got RuPaul, you said?
RuPaul.
Okay, so they got some throwing knives. Some knives.
Okay.
Okay?
What now?
Okay. Slain Hendrix. We're reading a story. Story time, folks. The monstrosity that had been Hendrix Patel spasmed and twitched as Damocles severed its head. He had to roll out of the way to avoid the spray of bile issuing from the decapitated body. Nightingale kept her distance as the body thrashed and finally fell still. I won't say you didn't deserve it, Damocles muttered, rolling the monster onto its belly. He looked up and found Nightingale first. If you don't mind taking a moment to help me burn this, I'd appreciate it. Hendrix may have been a traitor and a murdering asshole, but Hyde wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for the Patels. We ought to burn the body at least. Nightingale nodded.
Gonna have a look around the lab. Maybe there's a cure in all this.
Maybe. Damocles didn't sound too confident. You'd think he would have gone for it when the girl infected him. Justice's small voice made Nightingale turn to look. Justice was staring off into space, eyes wide and confused.
She should have been dead.
Justice muttered.
Echo? I think her name was Echo. She was on the edge of the blast, where the space-time distorts the worst. I saw her crumble to dust.
Echo?
Rook asked.
That was the Grim Decon spy just now?
Deacon.
Deacon.
Justice nodded.
Nope. Decon.
Decon.
You think she is...
It's C-O-N, Decon.
That's what the others called her anyway, before I watched her explode. You think she has a twin?
Remi
Remi
suggested.
Justice looked up. I watched her explode. Twins can be very convincing.
Remi muttered with one finger in the air.
She sounded exactly the same. She acted the same, moved in the same way.
Justice shook her head.
I don't know.
Nightingale found herself continually looking towards Justice's spellbook. Somewhere inside that incredible source of power might be the cure she needed. Justice hadn't even checked it yet. Maybe it was in there and someone just needed to dig a little deeper.
Another mystery for another day.
Rook said, dropping yet another pile of books and broken furniture onto the corpse. They'd about buried him in refuse already, which had added the
added bonus.
Which
had the added bonus of making it so they didn't have to look at the awful creature.
None of these books say anything about a cure. Everything I looked just seems to be about the different ways to make people sick.
Same, Zeke agreed, kicking over another pile of lab journals with a deep sigh. There's some pretty messed up stuff in these. I can't unread this. Damocles grabbed a broken piece of wood and stabbed it into the pile so hard that several books and bits of splintered furniture went flying. He let out a scream of anger and Nightingale visibly jumped. Everyone stood silently as he dropped to his knees. Remi walked up behind him and placed a hand gently on his back. Damocles didn't look up, but slowly rose. They all stared at the massive pile as Zeke pulled out his matches. He held them out to Damocles. Think you ought to do it. Zeke was solemn as he spoke. Damocles struck a match and stared into the flame for a moment before dropping it onto the pile. With a roar of flame, Hendrix was reduced to ashes in memory. They left through the same door Echo had used. The ceiling was low and the passage was cramped, but that worked to their advantage. There was nowhere the spy could have set a trap for them. Sunlight streamed in from outside the tunnel as they reached the end. Nightingale was the first one out, covering her eyes with an arm even as she let the smell of sage and open air wash over her. By the time her eyes had adjusted, the rest of her friends had made it out as well. They were standing on the mountainside, maybe 50 meters above the village. In the dawn light, she could make out the many miners heading to their day's work. Smoke from numerous little fires went up from chimneys, and the air was filled with distant, cheerful voices. "Thank you," Damocles said, his voice low, "for helping me save them. I went down there thinking my family was the only one in danger, but I don't want to think about what Hyde might have been like if Hendrix was able to kill my whole family. How many of these people would still have been alive in a year?" "Don't mention it," Zeke said. "It's no big deal."
Whatever.
Remi called, her voice teasing.
That monster was a big deal. We made it, though. That's what's important.
Nightingale brushed herself off and straightened. Their work for the Hyde family might have been finished, but her own quest was not. Rook seemed to be thinking along the same lines as he cleared his throat loudly.
If you're ready, Damocles, I think we should head back. Elias will be expecting our report, and I can already tell most of us could use a good rest.
New story flag! Mark the story flag and end to madness on the adventure sheet. Continue to a family betrayal on page 215. As they arrived at Hyde Manor, the guards rushed them back inside to the same sitting room they'd spoken in before. Elias was already awake, or perhaps he'd never slept. Damocles explained what had happened. Who's Elias, by the way?
His father.
Oh, so he's Russian too. Got it. Elias waited until they were finished before shaking his head. "No."
Can you do two different Russian accents?
I'm trying now. He rose, hands clenched into his fist. "You must be mistaken. Hendrix Patel has been more than a friend to this family. He would never do anything to hurt Hyde. Or Rivka. He was as much a founder of Hyde as I was." Tea and breakfast surrounded them in trays servants had brought, but they didn't touch any of it. They were too tired for food. Elias shook his head, still taking it all in. "Grim deacons from Brahma. Monstrous new forms of the blight. Magic that cannot hold pockets of existence. I'll believe all that before I believe Hendrix Patel would betray our family." "I heard him, father!" Damocles spoke quietly, looking down. It was the first weakness Remi had ever seen in him. "You remember all of these conversations we've had, all the times. He tried to convince you Hyde would be better off under Brahmanian rule. He hated you for saying no. And it sounded like he thought killing all of us was the shortest way of taking Hyde for himself." Damocles kept his voice low, never meeting his father's eyes. "I wish there was any doubt." He drew some papers from his pocket. "I took these during a scuffle with the men. Some sort of financial agreement with the grim deacon named Echo." Elias accepted the pages and read, "This seal and signature. God, I wonder if Tegan is part of this." He sunk down with his head in his hands and didn't move again for several minutes.
Tegan?
Nightingale asked with a look of surprise to her friends. "His wife. They've been expecting a kid, I hear." Elias glanced through the letter for a long moment. "King Balthazar will need to be informed at once," Elias finally said. "You say one of the grim deacons escaped?" "She did," Damocles said. "She fled while we fought with whatever Hendrix had become." "That grim deacon. What did you say her name was?" Elias was looking at Justice. Remi had to shake Justice a little to get her attention.
Echo.
Echo. Justice muttered. She didn't look any better than she had in the mines. She hadn't exaggerated about the cost of her magic. "Yes, Echo," Elias repeated.
"I might be able to find her."
Justice barely spoke, louder than a whisper. Even after limited use of her magic, she remained pale and drained-looking, like a sponge squeezed too dry.
"If you let me leave, your son got me out of jail, but..."
"Of course, no question." Elias had no anger for Justice when he looked up again. No sign of any emotion at all. "I'll draft your formal pardon as soon as we finish here. You've done a service to Hyde. All of you have. I don't know where you plan to travel next, but at least accept my hospitality in the meantime. You all look like you could use a good meal and a clean bed. What about your wife? Zeke asked, his voice low. Has her condition improved? No, Elias admitted, growing somber again. And my doctors continue to insist there is no cure. But don't worry. The blight has been tormenting Hyde for years now. I am not ignorant of its dangers. I have taken all the necessary precautions. You can sleep soundly under my roof. Nightingale wasn't so sure, but she wasn't in any place to complain. In some ways, her friends were even braver to be traveling around with her. The Maluma had already used her body to fight them once. Would she have any way of stopping it if it decided to do so again? Nightingale was too tired to eat. She waved at Rook and Zeke before cleaning up and taking advantage of the promised bed. The Hyde estate lacked any of the obvious luxury of the Moretti mansion, or even her own family's castle, but after her ordeal, a patch of warm floor would have been enough luxury. She kept the strange white stone within reach as she slept, though she couldn't have said why. It wasn't as though she thought Justice might steal it, as helpful and cooperative as she'd already been. Maybe it was the exhaustion, but for the first time since the vaults, Nightingale slept without nightmares. She woke just before dawn, and by the time she dressed, the sun was starting to rise, bathing Hyde in brilliant orange light. She enjoyed the sight for a moment, but had to heed the call of a far more pressing need. Her stomach.
Real quick, he served breakfast and tea when we talked with them, and then we crashed for literally a day.
Yeah. You gotta relax. The Hyde estate was quiet at this hour. There were few servants, and the ones she passed looked somber and reserved. None met her eyes. Her friends weren't up yet, so Nightingale set about the task of cooking breakfast herself. Once she started making noise in the kitchen, she suddenly attracted a half-dozen worried servants. Once a short girl in a subdued brown dress bowed politely and made to take the pen out of her hand. Sorry.
No, you do it. This is Miss Doubtfire.
The princess shouldn't be concern herself with chores.
The princess enjoys cooking for herself.
Nightingale insisted.
If someone gives you grief about it, you can tell them, I wouldn't let you cook for me.
The servant was clearly uncomfortable, but she didn't object any further. Several other servants came and went, apparently amazed to see Nightingale actually doing something for herself. At least none of them tried to take the work away from her. It was nice to have something mindless to do. It helped clear her head. Justice soon joined her, watching from behind the counter.
Do you still have the artifact?
Nightingale met her eyes and then nodded.
Until you lead us to this friend of yours, the one who knows how to help me. Yeah, that guy. Nightingale didn't stop cooking.
You missed
I'm
his
still
name.
a little confused about what?
You missed his name on the previous page. It was Zephyr.
Oh, it's chopped off.
Oh. Zephyr, Justice said.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that guy. Nightingale didn't stop cooking. I'm still a little confused about why you can't help, though. Is there something in that book of yours about how to fight a crazy mind parasite?
Oh, sorry. Justice pulled over a tall chair and sat down, setting the book down on the counter in front of her. It fell immediately open to a random page, but no strange glow came from within this time.
There isn't much in here, honestly. It's more of a totem than a proper book. Sometimes I wonder if it's actually alive. What little text there is changes every time I look. And there's not exactly an index to look through. It tells me what it wants me to know.
Nightingale leaned over to look, though she couldn't stay away from the stove for long without burning her pancakes. Pancakes! Got her priorities straight. Most of
a hefty stack.
Yeah, right. Most of what was written on the page was in symbols and letters and looked like nonsense to her. Something bold at the top of the page was the only thing that caught her eye.
Buy blue cloth from the market today and give it to the man who asks.
Nightingale read aloud.
What kind of a spell is that?
And then went back to her cooking.
It's not a spell. Justice closed the book, then rested both arms on it. Despite their long rest, she didn't look much better than she did yesterday. It's a demand. I'm not entirely sure how it works or how to explain it. It feels like the book takes something from me when I use it. I can't explain what exactly, but if I don't do what it asks me to, I don't get it back.
Nightingale wasn't sure how to respond to that. She didn't say anything until she'd finished with the first plate and could hear footsteps coming from upstairs. She took a deep breath and then turned to Justice, hoping to get a word in before they were interrupted.
Look, I'm sorry we pressured you into helping.
Nightingale said.
I know what it's like to have your freedom taken away. I wish we didn't have to do it to you. I know. Don't worry about it, though.
Justice didn't sound angry, only tired.
You're helping me get back to my friends anyway.
The kitchen soon filled as the rest of the group made their way down for breakfast. They spent at least an hour eating and decompressing from their adventures. It's a lot of pancakes.
A lot of pancakes.
Eventually, Damocles arrived, fully dressed and as somber as any of the servants. He didn't look directly at any of them as he spoke. I forgot how to do an accent for a second. Where's my pancakes? No, it says, I understand that you plan to leave today, he asked.
We do.
Rook said.
After a trip to the market, Justice tells us it will be a long journey to find her friend.
Justice spoke up, threw a pancake in her mouth.
Our fossil here deep within the canyon swamp.
She swallowed.
There are no towns between here and the sunken city of Kina.
Through the swamp? I hope you enjoy bugs and blisters. Damocles leaned against the wall. I am to accompany you all until you leave Hyde. Some people may not be thrilled to see Justice walking freely through our city. If you need any other help, I can provide that as well.
What about your mom, Rivka?
Nightingale asked quietly. Not good, but stable, Damocles said, taking a deep breath. My father wishes to be alone with her. A messenger will find me if anything changes.
All right.
Nightingale scooped up her pack near the entrance to the kitchen, slinging it onto her back.
Let's get going then. I'm already sick of being stuck inside.
All right,
Tell me
that's
about it.
gonna end today's session here.
So we go back to Hyde. So what's going on in Hyde real quick before we completely kill it? So go to page 218 in the book.
218 in the book. Story around Hyde, the Aftermath. Shop and train. You may spend gold and learn disciplines with XP. In addition, you may trade any gear amongst your party members and party stash. The store contains the following items and item upgrades for sale. After completing this step, return all items and item upgrades to their respective decks. Before adventurers explore or venture forth, players choose the active group. So all uncommon items, all uncommon item upgrades, all upgrades players have materials for, one random uncommon unique item, and then all non-unique items and item upgrades from previous tiers.
Okay. And then are there any side quests?
Yeah, so can we see what the random unique item is?
It's the same one I showed off before. I don't remember what the current item is. I think it's the upgraded sword that I have.
We don't get a different one?
It's once per town.
It's okay.
That's how the rules say it.
Explorer. As a group, you can choose one of the following and then proceed to the listed page. You may not choose a side quest. You've already attempted this adventure. If you have no side quest you can choose, or you decide you don't want to explore a side quest, then venture forth. Side quest. The quest to be the best. Players must spend 20 gold to attempt the side quest. Or side quest, minor rescue.
Help some kids?
No, the other kind of minor. But I know one thing, Josh.
Yeah.
I want to be the very best. That no
Very best.
one ever was.
Never
Dun, dun,
was.
dun. Catch them is my real test. To eat pancakes is my cause.
So I believe we get to actually play the mini game again. That's what the spend 20 gold is.
What's the minigame?
It's on the other side.
Hadraxis dice? What, Draxus dice?
something like that.
Abraxas dice.
Braxis or something.
What?
I think that's a
Side quest, the quest to be the best.
yeah. It's the Braxis game.
It says it's a pit boss.
Charmander.
You've been challenged by the mighty pit boss of Hyde. Oh yeah, Abraxas.
Braxis game. So it's a little mini game.
Okay. Cool.
It's a gambling game.
I like gambling. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us today. This is going to conclude today's session of Twitch Plays Middara. Please join us for all of our upcoming shows tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're continuing on with Twitch Plays Kingdom Death. We're going into Lantern Year.
11? Something? Right in the hand first. We have a special encounter.
We have a special encounter we're probably going to do off-screen because the hand fight is boring as shit. So we're going to be doing another fight afterwards. And then join us next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday for more Twitch Plays Middara. But to know about all the other things that are going on in the land of Twitch and Twist Gaming, please follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and come chat with us on our Discord channel where Josh posts pictures of his fish mountain.
Discuss our best pancake recipes.
No, we've never done
Don't
that.
step on me.
Josh posts pictures of fish recipes, of fish mountains. That's what he does. If you've got Amazon Prime, you've got Twitch Prime, which means you get one free sub every month. We'd love it if he used it on us because it helps us pay for the stream because it does cost money for things like this. And because we want to try to upgrade the stream too. And, pay off credit cards. But that's a different story. Let's see what else is going on here. We do giveaways a lot here also, so if you are a subscriber, you get more entries into the giveaways because we love our subscribers. We love them lots. We love them long time. And then finally, what else is going on, Josh?
I think that's it for now.
All right, so lots of stuff going on here. Hope you all are staying safe during this COVID-19 stuff. And how do you feel about Elon Musk right now?
Huh.
Good night, everyone.